we check on our standing orders to make sure that I'm given an opportunity to oversight my county. It is sad to see money going back to the coffers, and the governance not working, and I have to wait for a whole year to ask a question that I could have asked when it happens, because we see it. We are seeing it happening, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these monies that are going to the county, most of them are for development and, of course, recurrency, and there will be money that will go to the health facilities, Mr. Speaker. I asked here on this floor, or on the floor of this House, on a statement on an issue where the employees of county government were, their insurance scheme, which was NHIF, was withdrawn and they were taken to a private entity. Mr. Speaker, we are talking about universal health care here. The government is providing the best in NHIF, but here you have a governor who wants to get out from the NHIF and go to a private entity. Your guess is as good as mine why he would do that. But when I bring that statement here, Mr. Speaker, it is months. The governor has not been summoned. We have not received any response. And here I am, Mr. Speaker, and that's what I'm saying. We need to form oversight committees or CPAC or CPIC that are regional so that we can fight for our people collectively, Mr. Speaker. Because if today I have not received any information 1 year down the line, what does that tell us? And here we are sending money to the counties, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, most World Bank grants and loans are project-based. They don't send money blindly. And that's why sometimes you see projects that are funded by World Bank are paid on time and are done thoroughly. So I would urge, whenever the National Treasury is bringing this bill, to be bringing the itemized projects that World Bank is going to do in my county. So that when they say they're giving 150 million for NARIG, I should be told this and this and this will happen. So that we start following our governors, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I talked about Kiambu County owes contractors and others over 5 billion as pending bills. And I use this opportunity because I'm working on an amendment of PFM that will help cure the issue of pending bill, Mr. Speaker. Do you know why we have pending bills? Because when governors are passing their budgets, they overproject their own source revenue. In the year 2022-2023, Kiambu said they will collect 3 billion, but they collected 2.1. So there is a deficit. Yet they had already earmarked and committed the 3 billion. Mr. Speaker, can you imagine today as we speak, the current budget of Kiambu County, 2023-2024, they projected their own source revenue to 7 billion. Mr. Speaker, if you could not collect 3 billion, now you're saying you are going to collect 7 billion. So what will happen? They are going to overcommit this 7 billion in projects, and then they collect 3 billion. So another deficit of 4 billion plus the previous 5 billion, that's 10 billion. Maybe the incoming governor in 2027 will not work. He will just pay pending bills, Mr. Speaker. So that's why I want to bring that amendment on this House. So that when you're overprojecting your own source revenue, Mr. Speaker, you can only do so to a certain percentage of the previous collection. If Kiambu had collected 2 billion, you can only overproject maybe 20% higher. So it is 2 billion plus 200 million. That way, Mr. Speaker, we will be able to make sure that the counties are transparent. And if at all you collect more, you can always do a supplementary budget, Mr. Speaker. So I think this is the time, as a Senate, we stand with each other. And just so you know, just the way you're a senator of your county representing the interests of your county, hear me out. Hear me out because my county is burning, Mr. Speaker. Hear me out because we are losing money in Kiambu County. Assist me, Mr. Speaker. Assist me to make sure that our people of Kiambu County, they are well represented. Their money are prudently used to make sure that they are assisted, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, we'll be coming here every day just because somebody have a few friends. And you know, Senator Chimera, sorry, Senator Chimera was bringing a bill here to say previous or former governors should not run for Senate. I think you should add a clause in it. Even those governors who are friends in the Senate should also try, because you see some of them are being protected by their friends in this house, Mr. Speaker. And it is a high time we listen to one another and fight for all our counties, Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order, Senator Boni?
Mr. Speaker, I hate to interrupt my young colleague, but did you hear him say that there are senators here who are protecting governors who are corrupt? I raise understanding order number 105 for him to substantiate, because I'm definitely not one of those senators, Mr. Speaker, protecting crooked, thieving, stealing governors that he now will have to substantiate, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Karungu Thangwa, kindly substantiate on that particular allegation. It's a grave one for that matter, particularly with regards to members who are sitting in this house.
Mr. Speaker, I think there's an English saying that says, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's a duck. Why am I saying that, Mr. Speaker? My county governor was supposed to appear at the CPAC committee by March last year. It was extended to July. March this year, sorry. March this year. It was extended to July. Then it has been extended to this month. So we don't know whether there will be another extension, Mr. Speaker. So that's all I'm saying, because I don't believe, and I do not want to insinuate anything, Mr. Speaker, but I would urge, let's help the people of Kiambu, because I wouldn't want my governor to be brought here the way the people of Meru brought Kawera, because I know his file is not as good.
Senator Thangwa, do you want to be informed by Senator Osotsi?
Yeah, he's my chair, CPIC. You can inform me.
Very well, Senator Osotsi, proceed.
Speaker, my good friend, Senator for Kiambu, knows the problem that we have with his governor appearing before Accountability Committee. He's a distinguished member of my committee, CPIC, and we have a similar problem with the governor of Kiambu appearing before us. We had to postpone 3 times because, one, documents were not in a prescribed format, and we got to a point we had to summon him to appear before us. So I just wanted to inform the senator that there is something particularly wrong with the governor of Kiambu.
Senator Thangwa, could you conclude on your substantiating the issue as was raised by Senator Boni? I have not given you the mic. I have not given you the mic, yes.
Thank you very much.
Senator Thangwa.
Kalala wanted to inform me? Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, as I conclude. And thank you, Chair, because...
you have an intervention, Boni Halwale? What is your intervention?
Mr. Speaker, thanks for your indulgence. The issue raised by the chair of CPAC and by the Senator of Kiambu, who also sits in CPAC, is monumental. They need to make a formal submission to the House, Mr. Speaker, so that this House assists them. I remember in the 11th Parliament, Mr. Speaker, the former governor of Kakamega applied the same tactics and never appeared before this House. Thank God now, his file has now been handed over to DCI. It was handed over by EACC yesterday. Let's not wait for the people of Kiambu to lose money only for 10 years later for us to start doing postmortems. Could this Senate afford CPAC an opportunity to prosecute the governor of Kiambu if indeed he's doing these things.
I believe what the chairperson of the committee was saying when he made specific reference to a particular problem, they must have a solution to that effect. I do not know, but you take the cue from the comments by Senator Boni Halwale and also what has been raised by Senator from Kiambu. Could you, as you conclude on your comment, Senator, comment on that
Thank
as
you.
well?
Thank you very much, Chair. And I really thank my chair, Sipik, because he's a very able chairperson, and always we discuss these issues. And he understands how angry sometimes I become at the committee. He actually was about to fine my governor 500,000 for skipping a sitting. It took my indulgence to implore to the chair not to fine my governor 500,000, because I believed you give them a chance. But if somebody is not learning, Mr. Speaker, that's why Senator Kalwala is saying it is time to crack the whip and invite them governors. If we have to change our standing orders to have governors come and stand here, just the way the CS are standing, we can do that, Mr. Speaker. Actually, that one is more important than anything, to have a governor here. We should not only wait when they are impeached or removed. But as I conclude, I would want to urge my governor, work with the people, and I wouldn't want him to go through the Kawera way when he was brought here, because I cannot guarantee his return. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader, Senator Aaron Cheriot.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this chance to also contribute to the county government's additional allocation bill number 2023. This is a very important bill, Mr. Speaker. Important in the sense that this bill is a child of the Senate. I say so, Mr. Speaker, because those that have served long enough in the Budget and Finance Committee know that before there was even something called condition and unconditional grant, Mr. Speaker, many county governments would additionally receive resources through various schemes and policies of the national government without due regard to any procedure, reference to any committee of the Senate, and therefore at Budget and Finance Committee